Today it is officially 13 days before my flight leaves Seattle to move to New York City. And I am excited, exhilarated, and just really pumped up about what it's going to be like on the other side. So I decided to kind of just film my journey and talk a little bit about what brought me to this point. And this is really it's such a crazy, exciting time in life, and all transitions are challenging at first, but it just really depends on your mindset. And I'm just in a very positive space right now and soaking it all in. And so I've been packing up my things lately, and I'm just going to document my journey every day and there, and just see where this goes. I don't really have an idea for why I'm doing this or what it's going to turn out to be, but I really am enjoying sharing my story, and I think that this could be pretty cool. So, earlier this summer in like June, I was talking to my best friend, Miley, and I was telling her, I want to come to New York, and so we thought about having me come there for the holidays, and then shortly after, the finances weren't really straight, and so of course the trip didn't work out, and I had this really, really strong intention, like, I know I'm going to be in New York. We're going to watch the ball drop together in Times Square, and I didn't have the slightest clue of how this was going to come about. Nothing really added up to being able to actually have this work out. And so I held that intention, though. I remember visualizing myself in New York, and after a while I just didn't really think too much about it. So later along the summer, around like October, things started to get really crazy here, and there was a big shift in my mood. You know, I hit this like depression point. It came just one day. I woke up around early October, and it felt like the world was just crushing me, and it didn't make any sense. And I'm like, what is going on? I didn't feel like myself. Every day was just like ridiculous, and I felt like everything just kind of came to a screeching halt. Things that I wanted to, that I usually found joy in doing, I just had no interest in them, and I couldn't figure out why I felt like that, and what the universe really was trying to tell me. And so I took it a day at a time, and boy, it was rough, you know. And there's just so much that unfolded. And so I noticed around the beginning of November, my mood started to kind of climb back up, and I started writing just daily reflection of whatever came to mind, and really just clearing out a lot of things that were trapped in my head, because sometimes you can have so many thoughts inside your head and be worried about so much stuff that you don't even notice, but it starts to like create this mental anvil, and it's just crushing down on your ability to create, to think, and to feel great. And so as I started flushing these things out through writing and talking to people, just sharing my feelings, and I really just decided, you know what, I'm gonna be open, because I've got nothing to hide, and I want out of this fog that I'm in, you know, this heavy, dense, dark cloud of confusing, like thick depression. And around the November 2nd, between November 2nd and November 4th, I noticed I just felt lighter, you know, and I didn't know why. Nothing actually happened. I just started to come back up and start to feel like my normal self. And so there's a lot of things happened. I was in a car accident in November, and my relationship has been like crazy, and on a trip I was on coming back, I left for a week and went to Miami and came back to Seattle, and on the way back, we're in the airport, all of our flights got delayed, and my roommate texted me and said the basement's flooded, because that's where we live. I live in in the basement, and um, our things weren't destroyed or anything like that, luckily. But I started to laugh at that point because I'm like, you know what? Something's going on here. Like Sandy came through, and there's all this water and this wind and this whipping of just the earth is moving. Something is happening, and I started to feel that in my own personal life. And I strongly believe in my connection to nature. I believe that we're all connected and that we're all affected by things like this that happen. And so I started paying attention to the signs and realizing that, okay, you know what? This is not like a personal issue with anything. This is a major shift that is occurring. And so I began to open my eyes and to pay attention to what's going on. What are my dreams and what are my emotions like, and what's going on in the world around me? What is nature saying? And so turns out that I am moving to New York. I found a ticket for $150 one way and packed up all my things, and in 13 days that's it, and I'm gonna be staying with my best friend, and I'm not worried about anything. I've been in New York once to Manhattan. It was like for 2 days, which doesn't even count because I didn't even get a feel for the city. And it's funny because I was just saying like earlier this summer that perhaps I'll live in New York someday and what that would be like. And I can't really say I've ever had this burning desire to actually live there. And I've been wondering, since I've been in Seattle, what was my purpose for coming here? Like there's been so much that happened, but when I look over the past year and see how much I've grown and how much I've inspired other people and how much other people have inspired me, I've reached just such a point of healing that my work here is done. And so I have peace with that. And so I am gonna walk out on faith and trust and love, just like the song. And at this point, I feel so free. And so as I'm documenting this journey, I just want to share that fear is really it's really something else. It's amazing how much fear can hold us back from the things that we're supposed to do in life and from moving forward. And of course, life is about growth and development. You learn something every day, and I have no regrets. And I've reached a point where I've decided that I will not allow fear to be at the root of any of my decisions. I'm not afraid of moving to a new city, a big city like New York, because I know that the universe will take care of me, and that the one person that I can depend on is myself, and I will not let myself down. And so this is a window of opportunity for me. Things are moving. The current is saying, okay, you know what? It's time to change things up. You've been stagnant. You've been sitting here. You've been growing, but now it's time to move on to the next thing. And I am really just embracing that and being a leader in my own life. One thing that's really key about being a leader is being present. You got to show up. And so when there is a window of opportunity and when there's a chance for growth and development and to move forward, I jump through the window, and I jump in, and I don't allow fear to hold me back, because fear is an illusion. It's based on the possibility that something may or may not happen. And, you can't live based on negative possibilities. I mean, it's illusory. And really, a lot of times, I have known I should do something, but I get into this thought process of, well, let me calculate the finances and let's see if this is going to happen. And it's such a waste of time, because at the end of the day, you can always come up with 1,000,001 excuses as to why something is probably not going to work out. And that feels good because it's comfortable, it's safe. You get to make all these excuses to stay in your comfort zone and to not reach out and grow. But it's not really a solution for happiness and for fulfillment, because that safety that you feel temporarily staying where you are, you know, it it starts to wear away. The happiness starts to wear away, and you realize that you're still in the same place doing the same thing, and you're not growing, you're not moving forward, and you feel like there's a lack, or like you're missing out on something. And the key to that is being able to pay attention to the signs of life, to move forward, and if there's a window of opportunity, go ahead and jump through it. Of course, you have to plan your decisions out, but be careful with planning. Over planning creates worry, and worry creates fear, and fear is an illusion. So, of course, it's real easy to slip into making decisions based on fear, which will always lead you in a negative direction. So, anyway, didn't mean for this video to come out to be so long. I will be back tomorrow to share a few more tidbits about my progress in moving, and I really hope that if there's anyone out there who is in my situation where things are crazy and you're at that crux where you're like, okay, something's going on, I need to make a change, but if I do this, what's going to happen? Or if I do that, what's going to happen? If there's anyone out there that feels like that, no one can tell you what to do. Your intuition, spirit will tell you what to do. But the important thing is to really listen to that. And if you are doing something, whatever it is, ask yourself, why am I doing this? And if you find that you're making a decision based on fear, that's an indication that that's not a very healthy decision for you. And learn to trust yourself, listen to yourself, spend time in nature, go for walks, clear your head, write, get things out. Because if you're emotional, if you're afraid, especially emotions will completely make you feel a certain way, and it's not really even reflective of your true self and what you really feel. So if you can flush those emotions out, talk, write, dance, draw, paint, whatever, clear your head and think straight, then you can get to that place of recognizing truth from falsity, from falsehood, however you say it, and recognize if you're making a decision based in fear. And you can't lie to yourself. You can't lie to yourself. But to get to that point, you can't have emotions blocking. Emotions will make you lie to yourself. You have to be able to separate your feelings from your true self. And I think that is the first step to figuring out what your purpose is, and to being able to make decisions that are going to enable you to grow and find joy, which will flow from inside and allow you to attract positive things and support for your mission in life into your circle. So this is Rain Fairy signing off, and have a blessed day.